Good morning to you, Dean. I imagine the morale up there on the slopes is pretty low, isn't it?
I will have to disagree with you, Holly. I think morale is pretty high out here. We've had some injuries, and it's unfortunate. But skiing is an inherently dangerous sport, and unfortunately, we've had some injuries. But our morale is very, very high.
Is it too dangerous?
Honest goodness, in a word, no. I don't think so. We receive fantastic instruction. Now, I'm a skier, so I've skied before, so I have an advantage over some who haven't. But our instructor's Warren Smith, he's fantastic. They've improved my skiing at least 40 to 50%, and that makes me safer on the mountain. But anytime you start to learn a new discipline and you're racing that discipline, that's an instance where, you know, you can get out of control, you can push too hard, or you can just make a mistake and you can get hurt. There's been a number of people who have missed some training sessions, absolutely.
Because of tiredness?
Well, of tiredness, and they're not athletes. Some of them aren't used to being athletes. I was a professional athlete. I know how important the training is. Yeah. And so I want to make sure
I wonder if you don't do the training, whether you should be allowed to do the event, maybe.
Well, that's all taken into account, and you have to do a certain amount of training in order to do the event, and they're very clear on that. So you have a minimum amount of training you have to do in order to compete, and then you have the maximum that you can get. So everybody passes the minimum amount, no question about it.
As far as the newspapers are concerned over here, if you just read what's going on, we just have visions of the production team over there running around like headless chickens, all terrified, worried about insurance, worried about claims, whether or not everyone's covered, whether they're actually going to have enough celebs for the show itself. So what is it actually like?
We have plenty of celebs for the show. Now, we have lost a number, and that's awful. As far as I know, everybody's been taken care of very, very well, and the insurance claims and things have not been an issue as far as I know. And we're all still very close with the competitors who have been injured and our new competitors who are coming in to compete. We're not going to run out of people. It's you know, it's dangerous, but it's not anything that should cause the show to be axed in any way, shape, or form. If you hang out at Innsbruck Airport, you're going to see 10% of the people with some sort of cast on their leg or their knee or their arm. Skiing's dangerous, and you need to be careful when you ski.
All right,
okay,
thank you very much indeed for that.
Thank you.
I've got Marcus here. You injured your knee during the snow cross. Were there enough in your eyes to answer this great wave of protest? Were there enough precautions?
Yeah, I think there were. I mean, the people making the programme have got an issue. The longer you train, the greater your exposure to risk. You need to be trained enough to be able to compete, but if you're on the snow hours and hours and hours every day, then you're putting yourself at risk. I mean, clearly I'm in peak physical condition at all times, a sportsman like Dean, and all are similar, you know. But the training I had was amazing, and it was the experience of a lifetime.
You've said the thing you didn't kind of bargain for was the fact of loss of earnings later on. If you're
I didn't ask enough questions about that bit of it. I have to say, like, medically, I was so well taken care of, both in Austria, you know, they haven't been systematically undermined by Jeremy Hunt, but I was looked after there, and then when I got back, it was fantastic. I didn't ask about loss of earnings, and I should have. It cost me a bit of money. But it was still, you know, it was the experience of a lifetime.
Worth it?
Totally worth it.
Okay.
And it doesn't work like that, but I'd do it again.
Ola, what about you? Because we were all very concerned watching.
Yeah.
I mean, you're being a dancer.
Well, I have to agree with Dean. I mean, it is incredibly dangerous sport. Even if you go on holiday, my accident could have happened on holiday if I've gone skiing for 4 days. And, you know, you sign up to a dangerous show, and that's one of the things I think you've got to take, you know,
into consideration.
Well, you said that your injury was your fault. It was a particularly
Well, it
stupid
was
injury.
my fault. It was a silly injury, and I've signed up to it. No one pushed me to do it. I knew it's a dangerous show, and, you know, that's one of the risks you sort of take.
And you also say that the aftercare that you got...
I've got to say, yes, the aftercare was amazing. I had an operation with the most amazing surgeon in the UK. I had physio 5 hours a day, every day for 6 months, because I wanted to get back to Strictly. So I worked really hard, and no one ever questioned it. I live in Kent. They got me cast to physio and back, and I have been looked after very well, and no one ever questioned it. So I love the show, and it was probably too quick for me because I did it on my third day of skiing as well, and I would still love to be able to do it.
Having said that, you did say in hindsight you perhaps shouldn't have signed up in the first place.
No, I shouldn't have, because I'm a dancer and my legs are so important. My leg is still not 100%. My leg is still, you know, it's not great, but, you know, that's...
So in years to come, and hopefully it won't, but if you do have trouble with that leg, you will be thinking, you know, this is all because of a TV show.
It's my stupidity. You know, it's my thing that I've signed up for a show. You know, maybe I shouldn't have, but